forecast. Nikki-Dee?
Hey guys, we're always talking about how if you don't like the weather in West Texas, wait a little bit and things will change. This is some photos that we did have earlier on. We're talking about zero visibility across the entire portion of West Texas. That type of activity, thankfully so, has begun to diminish, but check it out. You see on the roadways, especially down right to the far left-hand side, all of that has begun to melt. It's going to go back in the form of slush, refreeze overnight, and it's going to cause for quite a destruction on the roadways into the evening hours. So please use extreme caution while driving. Now, here's some good news when it does come to our West Texas weather. We have really begun to go back in the form of actually having a visibility outside. 10 miles in the city, Plainview up to almost 6¼ miles going over into Childress. We are less than a mile, but you got to remember earlier on, it was much lower than that, even less than 1/4 mile visibility. Now, our system is continuing to push itself off towards the eastern portion of the viewing area, and as it does, it is actually beginning to slightly weaken. And on top of that, we're seeing some snow melt because we are dealing with some nice clear conditions across West Texas. That sun is able to penetrate down to the surface, so all of that is going to begin to unfreeze and then refreeze. But what's happening right now, wind-wise, they're still pretty windy, 30 miles per hour here in the central locations. Winds are out of the north and west. Across the board, we're beginning to see those winds going down along the state line and then off into the rolling plains, still dealing with around 30 to even 40 miles per hour. Temperatures majorly continuing to decrease. We're into the 30s, but feeling as if we are into the teens, especially to the northern portion of the viewing area, and the 20s right here into the central locations. Now tomorrow, the sun's going to come out. That's some great news, but then you got to remember, same song and dance. It's going to melt and refreeze. So we're talking about quite a bit of destructive driving hazard as we head into the next 48 hours. I've got all the details, including some really cool, fun snowman pictures, because we did have some fun today in the snow. Terry?